Chapter 12. 30. Love Goo, Two Halves. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Renzu was helpless. He asked Love Goo, oh Goo, they don't want to love me. You have to help me and ignite the fire of love in our hearts. Love Goo sighed. This is beyond my abilities. I cannot force others to love. No matter what heart, it has to collide on its own free will. Renzu shook his head. No, this is a good chance to save my daughter. I cannot give up. Self-Goo, I will rely on you. Self-Goo nodded, using its own strength. It had once eaten a mouthful of strength Goo. Right now, Renzu had his own strength. Thus, these feathermen were all captured by Renzu, their hearts to dug out and used to collide with Renzu's heart. But no matter how they collided, there were no hearts that created the spark of love. Love Goo sighed. Oh Renzu, forcing others to love is impossible. You will only create hatred. As it said that, a goo worm appeared before Renzu. Renzu took a look. It was Hatred Goo indeed. Hatred Goo made all of the feathermen feel hatred. They shouted, oh Renzu, you are too much. You are bullying us. We will make you pay the price. Thus these feathermen flew up together. Shining worms were flying out of their bodies. They were Wild Freedom Goo. The Freedom Goo fused together into a gigantic Freedom Goo. This Freedom Goo easily took away Renzu's Love Goo. Henceforth love is free, this giant Freedom Goo said. Renzu's self Goo quickly flew out. It wanted to snatch Love Goo, but it could not overpower Freedom Goo. It only managed to take a bite of Love Goo. Self Goo said angrily, love also belongs to oneself. After Zhao Lianyun heard First Supreme Elder's words, she was still in a daze. Stories in A's were widely spread. Zhao Lianyun had seen them many times in her childhood, but she always thought of them as fictitious tales. As a matter of fact, she did not expect that this strict granny would talk to her about it in such a heavy and serious atmosphere. Spirit Affinity. House's First Supreme Elder saw Zhao Lianyun's expression and knew that she had never paid close attention to. Thus, First Supreme Elder said, the Love Goo on your shoulder is ranked 9, but it has a major flaw. What flaw? Zhao Lianyun asked. It cannot be refined, First Supreme Elder said solemnly. What do you mean? Even Goo immortals cannot refine it, Zhao Lianyun asked. First Supreme Elder smiled. Not to mention Goo immortals, even rank 9 venerables cannot. In history, many venerables have tried. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable had attempted to refine this Goo for 3 years in a row without pause, but he still failed miserably. Zhao Lianyun heard the secret and stared with wide-opened eyes. So there are things in this world that immortal venerables or demon venerables cannot do, she exclaimed. Venerables only have the strongest battle strength, invincible in this world, but they are not omnipotent. In the past, Thieving Heaven Demon, Venerable, and Giant Sun Immortal. Venerable had to ask Long-Hair Ancestor for help in terms of Goo refinement. This is an obvious conclusion. First Supreme Elder spoke slowly. Thus, Love Goo cannot be controlled. It is free and nobody can give it orders. First Supreme Elder concluded. But why did it? Zhao Lianyun did not know what to say. She looked at Love Goo on her shoulder. In her vision, Love Goo was so dazzling and bright. First Supreme Elder said, this is the acknowledgement of Love Goo. This situation is rare, but it has happened quite a number of times before. The last time was Fairy Mo Yao. Why did it acknowledge me? Zhao Lianyun was curious. First Supreme Elder shook her head. I am not sure, but our sect has concluded 2 points. Firstly, a person has to believe in love to gain its acknowledgement. This is the foundation. Secondly, someone's love has to reach an intense level. The greater your love, the higher the chances of gaining Love Goo's acknowledgement. Is that so? Zhao Lianyun blinked as she listened. She realized it was because she loved Ma Hongyun so deeply, even willing to give up her own life, that Love Goo came and acknowledged her. Why did this not happen for Feng Jinhuang? Because she had no lover. Love was not familial affection or friendship. First Supreme Elder continued, precisely because Love Goo cannot be controlled, to make use of it, one needs Love Goo's acknowledgement. Thus, there is a rule in our sect since we were created. Anyone who gains Love Gu's acknowledgement, be it female or male, would be our sect's current generation fairy. Zhao Linyun blinked. There are male fairies too? First Supreme Elder smiled. Our sect has a large proportion of females, but we also have males. Why would we not have them? Look at that tablet in the center, named Sheng Yu Shan, at the bottom right corner, with Chan Yuan Liang. These are all people dedicated to love in our sect's history. Actually, Love Gu has many special effects. For example, it has a different appearance as seen by different people. How does it appear to you now? Zhao Linyun replied honestly, dazzling with multicolored rainbows. First Supreme Elder nodded. To my sight, it is gray and unattractive, like a rock by the roadside. How could this be? First Supreme Elder smiled lightly, deep wisdom hidden in her eyes. I stopped believing in love long ago. Thus, Love Gu looks like that to me. In the generations of fairies, Love Gu has always looked different. Some see clear water, some see peach blossoms. There were countless forms that were observed. And also, Love Gu has varying effects. Please enlighten me, Zhao Linyun said. First Supreme Elder continued. Normally speaking, a Gu worm, be it mortal or immortal, has only one effect. Like water arrow Gu, it can only shoot water arrows. But Love Gu is different. It can be said to have unlimited effects. It can shoot fire, heal, or provide defense, for instance. Zhao Linyun became overjoyed as she listened. So amazing! First Supreme Elder shook her head. Love Gu is a rank 9 Gu. It is naturally extraordinary. It has unlimited effects, but it cannot be controlled. If you want it to attack, it will bring you to fly away. If you want to defend, it will heal you. Often when you want it to work, it does absolutely nothing. When you do not want it to activate, it will come out and unleash its might. Zhao Linyun was a little disheartened, but she soon gathered her spirits. Even so, it is a rank 9 immortal Gu. Any of the effects used must be extraordinary. First Supreme Elder said, You are right, but you forgot something. Strength cannot be gained from nothing. You have to pay a price. Every time Love Gu is used, it will take something away from you. Zhao Linyun was nervous. What thing? The most common thing is immortal essence. But you are not a Gu immortal. It might take away your beauty, your eyesight, or your lifespan. First Supreme Elder said grimly. Zhao Linyun's expression was pale. She looked at the Love Gu on her shoulder again. But now her gaze was very different from before. This immortal Gu might end up accelerating my death. If that is the case, I need to make good use of my time. Zhao Linyun made a resolute decision. She mustered her spirits, saying to First Supreme Elder, Even if I have to pay a big price, I will save Ma Hongyun. Elder, if I become Spirit Affinity House's current generation fairy, can I use the sect's power to return to Northern Plains? First Supreme Elder did not answer Zhao Linyun immediately. She had a complex expression. A while ago, Heavenly Court's Duke Long awakened. When news got out, the 10 great ancient sects were stirred. Duke Long was on par with Bo Qing in terms of strength. With just his own power, he created a brand new race, the Dragon Man. In other words, he was the ancestor of Dragon Men. He had a legendary life, but his reputation was not high, buried deep in history. Even in the 10 great ancient sects, barely anyone knew of him. Duke Long had great seniority. He was unbelievably old. When he woke up, Fairy Ziwei immediately gave up her position as leader, handing it to Duke Long. The other Heavenly Court Gu Immortals were all in agreement. Duke Long used information path methods and understood the situation. He immediately ordered for Zhao Linyun to be Spirit Affinity House's current generation fairy. Not just that, Duke Long even gave Zhao Linyun a phantom aperture, turning her into a Gu Immortal. More absurdly, he even ordered the 10 great ancient sects to cooperate with Zhao Linyun, to bring a team to Northern Plains and save Ma Hongyun after some time. The 10 great ancient sects were in tumult, but they all obeyed him without objection. Because of historical reasons, nobody dared to question Duke Long's arrangements regarding Love Gu. Such news were not for Zhao Linyun to know about. First Supreme Elder also did not want her to know. Jialian Yun was kneeling before her now, but she had fainted for a few days already. She would not know that the 10 great ancient sects were engaged in a contest regarding the huge storm surrounding her. Jialian Yun saw that First Supreme Elder did not answer her. She became very nervous. She was afraid that First Supreme Elder would say no. But First Supreme Elder soon said, Jialian Yun, you are an otherworldly demon who obtained the thieving heaven true inheritance. Perhaps you might be one of the most unique fairies in Spirit Affinity House. And maybe because of your special traits. Don't worry, Heavenly Court has been alerted by this. The 10 great ancient sects will go ahead and form a team, consisting of you as the core, to rescue your lover, Ma Hong Yun, in Northern Plains. What? Zhao Lianyun stared with wide-open eyes. Hearing this, she was extremely joyful and surprised.